Hello, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I hope you're doing well today and you're getting some good trades. Back in February of 2014, there were whispers that the Reserve Bank of New Zealand was going to increase the interest rates from 2.5% to 2.75%. Now, this quarter% interest rate increase was based upon the economic conditions seen in New Zealand and based upon some comments from Governor Wheeler. Even though he did a little bit of backpedaling, this caused the market to start making a push up out of a range that it had been in between about this 80.50 area up to about the 83.50 area. Well, sure enough, on March the 12th, we heard from the RBNZ, and they did increase the interest rates a quarter%, which pushed the New Zealand dollar up to 86. So we see this move of 550 pips to the upside, and as of late, we're seeing a very strong move up since the late part of February. Nothing but straight upward movement pretty much for the past 13 days. So my comment today is that some traders and institutions are looking for moves higher. But I think before we move higher, I think we're in for a pullback before the push higher. So in today's video, I want to show you what institutions are looking for, but at the same time we have some setups overnight that could see the New Zealand dollar swing back towards 85.20 or possibly down below that. Let's take a look. When we look out the big picture, what the institutions are looking for is that the market held this trend line and now it's made a stronger trend line up, and you can see that going back into February here we've had a number of weeks of strong move to the upside. Now typically price has a tendency to go back to where it's been before, so we look for previous higher highs. Well, there's one that sits back here in April of 2013 that is sitting right at about the 86.75 level. And then you go back all the way to July of 2011, and that puts us right in the neighborhood about this 88.40 level. Market participants are looking for a push up to around that 8,800 level in the Kiwi dollar. Now, that is given based upon conditions in New Zealand. However, later this month, we're going to hear from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Now, they might consider raising interest rates, and if they do, we might have a little back and forth going on between the Aussie and the Kiwi. But for right now, just make note, these are areas that I do expect the market to potentially get up to, especially this 86.75 level. But before we get up to that level, given the fact that we've gone 13 days straight up in the Kiwi, and I've noticed there's been 2 periods of consolidation. Typically, the market moves in steps of 3. Well, we've had one little period of consolidation there, and then we've had another period of consolidation right across here. So the market's moved up, consolidated, moved up, consolidated, moved up. 3 steps up. Usually when you go 3 steps up, the market either corrects a bit or consolidates before making that another push higher possibly. So from this standpoint, I'm thinking 3 steps up, and I'm seeing some things intraday perspective that leads me to believe that we're going to see the market possibly push back down. When we go down the 30-minute chart, you can see that we have a pretty well set double top pattern. The market pushed up pretty strong, came back, pushed back higher, could not make a higher high. This is a declining double top, and the market broke through this diagonal trend line here and looks to be set to fall to the downside. Now, the key is can it get back below this low point? It's right now sitting on a previous high right around this 85.60 level. If the market gets through this and can break this 85.55 area here, then I look for the market to potentially push back down into this ranged area here. Now, this range puts us in the ballpark between about 85.40 to about 85.25 area. There's a possibility that we get in through that. Looking at a bigger picture, just in the case that the market breaks the bottom here, right around this 85.20-25 area, you can see it's a previous high back here in March. If the market breaks that, you can see the double top potential that we have in the 4-hour chart. And do you notice descending highs going on in the Traders Dynamic Index? So the Traders Dynamic Index suggests a possible downward action, a little bit of bearish convergence. So if we break the 85.20 area, there's the possibility that we get back down to some average highs here or even down to some average lows in this area. I don't know if we're going to break 85, but we might see a push back to 85 before we see a push back above the 86 level. So we want to be ready for that. If you take a look again overnight, if this does tend to move down, break below this 85.60 area, look for it to possibly work its way through this area. I would suggest that you look for the market to get down somewhere right about where the market took off here. That puts us right in that ballpark about this 85.45 area. So again, look for the pullback. The retracement from the low to the high, right now we're sitting here between the 23.6 and 38.2, is just a little bit above this midpoint here, but you can see that we could get the retracements on down into this area here before a potential push higher. So again, with a very strong daily move to the upside, 2 periods of consolidation here, and on top of that, even though we're seeming to move higher, we haven't taken out the previous high. It's been 3 days. We haven't taken out this previous high. We're starting to develop a swing high. With that in mind, I would look for the market to pull back. And again, let's take a look. What could be the possible pullback? The pullback here could be back to this 85.20 area would be one level to look for. Another level to look for as far as a pullback would see it coming back down, and this would suggest all the way back down to 84.75 area. I don't know if we'll get there though. I think there may be just a pushback to about the 85 level before we go higher. Well, that's my take on the market right now as I take a look at the setups that we have overnight and take a look at the 4-hour chart suggesting a double top. And with that in mind, before the market pushes up to these highs, look for the possible retrace, setting a new floor to work off of to move to these higher targets. This is Dean Malone with Compass FX. Hope some of the information about the New Zealand dollar will help you in your trading. Y'all make it a great day. Get some good trades. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.